Well, I live vicariously through you guys, with your hurricanes and your tropical storms. Though they have hit us before, like we got hit by Katrina, and it was awful. And even in Indiana, we got so much rain.
I don't know if you're allowed to say that though.
I mean, it, relatively speaking, was like nothing.
Katrina was bad for Indiana.
I know what was going on at the Superdome looked bad, but whew.
We got so much rain though. I mean, it was like I had to put on a raincoat for a couple days.
We got flooding in my office. I mean, I get that it wasn't the same as New Orleans.
How long did it take you guys to rebuild? Yeah.
I saw that on CNN. I saw.
Yeah, no, I think
of
Mitch Daniels was like, "Where are the buses?"
I feel like we're off the rails here.
You brought this upon yourself.
You did, my friend.
Kind of. Entirely, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, so just prepare to...
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect.
Yeah, so just prepare to...
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
That train is off the track.
I feel like you can't just like jump through Neptune and be okay.
Just prepare to...
What the show needs is more dogs and bears and chickens and stuff.
Yeah, so just prepare to be awash in unbeatable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You are listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. Today is September 24th, and this is episode 661. Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana, I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials. This show, we're going to preview the Western Conference and talk a little Pacers up top. But joining me this week are all three of our analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from the high school home of Jameson Brewer, Silver Spring, Maryland, it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatables? Shout out to the regular season on the horizon. We could see it now. We're past the equinox.
From Asheville, North Carolina, he's our in-house bartender mixing up the drinks in the crappy jingles. It's the Gray Towel, John Colson.
What is up, Pacer Nation? What is up, Undebeatables? I'm really excited that we have somewhere between 3,000 and 300,000 listeners. Congratulations to you guys for sticking with us for, at this point, this is our 12th NBA season, I believe. Going into.
So.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we definitely are on the veterans minimum right now.
That's right. Yeah, we're in the 3 million range, not the 1 million range for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you're definitely going to get a call from the census takers in your state next time around. They would love to enlist you.
I'm real good with numbers.
And from Boise, Idaho, out west, it's our enforcer, John Harper.
What is going on, fellas? Staring down a new season. Can't believe it.
I know it. Well, before we get into the show, I guess I want to do a quick shout out to the Equinox, as you mentioned. But on the Equinox, my boy has his birthday. So
Oh, hey! He's what, 42?
he's 42. He's somewhere between 2 and 42.
Congratulations, Waywin.
Yeah, it was a fun weekend, and we celebrated the Equinox in style.
Nice.
Before we get into the show, we'd like to remind listeners that they can support us, the longest running Pacers podcast, by heading over to patreon.com/undebeatables, and you can support us for as little as $1 per month.
And if all 300,000 of you give us $1 a month, I would quit my job and do this show naked every week.
On
You can
our
pay for that.
OnlyFans
You
page.
can pay for that.
Yeah. And if you send $2, he'll keep his clothes on.
Smart move, Harper.
Yeah. Well, we did get some news, Colson. First of all, put your shirt on. Second of all, you sent over an article that it seems like the contract for Buddy Hield might not be going super great. We've been loving having, both individually, but together, Halliburton and Hield.
Bert Buddy.
Yeah, and it seems like it's possible that may not be.
Well, so The Athletic wrote an article this last week, and it sounds like the Pacers have about $7 million in cap space, and we wanted to give that to Buddy Hield in the same way that we did with Miles Turner last season. We had about $20 million to give Miles Turner, and we just gave it to him. And then after we gave him that big bump, we were able to extend him on a very reasonable contract because he had that sort of single-year bump. He, got essentially an extra $20 million, and then we kept him at, $20 million a year, which is a very reasonable contract. I think he's the, 10th or 12th highest paid center in the league. Like that's pretty solid. And I think we tried to do the same thing with Buddy Hield. We said, hey, we'll give you the $7 million, and then we want to pay you less the following 2 or 3 years. We'll do extension. And he said that he felt unappreciated, apparently, to the staff. And he asked for a trade. Say it ain't so, buddy. Say it ain't so. I actually had spent some time thinking about, we all assume Matherin's taking over the shooting guard position. I thought maybe we need the shooting from Buddy Hield in the starting lineup, and Matherin can play the 3, and we can put Bruce Brown at 4, even though he's undersized, and we can make this work. Buddy Hield does so many things for this team. It sounds like the team's trying to get him out before the beginning of the season, and I don't know. The article that we'll post you to has 6 possibilities, and they're all bad. I don't feel good anything good about what they're trying to get for Buddy Hield. My assumption is that we would look for a usable wing and a draft pick. Do you guys want more out of it than that? I mean, Buddy Hield is the most prolific 3-point shooter in the NBA right now, according to what he did last season. Not the sharpest shooter, but the most frequent. And there are a lot of teams want him. I feel like we can get something for him, and it sounds like we have to.
Yeah, so I guess it surprises me that Hield demanded a trade. Like what?
Demands it over. He wants
asked for a trade. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
He asked for a trade. Like, so does that suggest that it's already a foregone conclusion that he's not going to start and he's going to come off the bench? And he's like,
I think that was probably
because I want to get more playing time or something.
I assume that was part of the conversation. I assume they were like, hey, look, we're going to give you this extra bump, and then we want to bring you down to like a $12 million a year contract coming off the bench.
We want to pay you like the bench guy that we think you are.
Exactly.
I assume
that's how.
Yeah.
I assume that's how the conversation went. And he was like,
He said, "I'm a
wanna
starter."
Yeah.
Sure.
But he may be traded to a team where he's not a starter. But if he can get paid like a starter, maybe he doesn't care. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I suppose, if he's gonna just go into free agency anyway, right? If he gets traded, it's unlikely that the team will extend him, right? So he'll just go into free agency in the offseason anyway. So from his perspective, you might as well play, either on a contending team or somebody where you're going to get more minutes and whatever. So I guess it makes sense. I don't know. I mean,
if it
from
does,
my,
though. I mean, he's getting paid like $22 million a year. If we were going to give him that $7 million bump for this one season and then try to crank him down, is he going to get $20 million a year on the free agency market? I mean, probably. 3-point shooting is a big deal. But
I mean, I have no idea what the market's going to look like next year, but salaries are really high these days. So
That's true. That's true.
wouldn't be surprising, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. As far as what we want in return, yeah, I think the Pacers probably want a player that is gonna play minutes. Although, we're gonna do our previews. We're doing the West this week and the East next week, and at least when I was looking at the Pacers roster, I was like, we are surprisingly deep. We have like dudes that have played a lot of NBA minutes that are probably not going to see the floor a lot, and so maybe we just need draft capital back in an expiring deal or something like that. What do you think, Harper?
I think that getting a usable wing player and a draft pick for your bench guy is probably aiming a little bit high for a trade. I think we'd have to be happy to get one or the other. I kind of agree. Yeah, draft capital is the way to go. I agree. We got a lot of guys who can play. Could we force him into our lineup and find minutes? Sure. But is that the best thing for the development of this team? And I'd love to keep Buddy, but if it's just not a good fit, with what he needs out of his career right now and what we need, then it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I just really like the idea of his 3-point shooting and his ball, off the ball movement and stuff, and his connection with Halliburton. But you're right, we have a ton of guards, and we do need a little bit of wing depth, maybe. But Aaron Nesmith and
I don't think we do. I think that's the last place that we need depth.
Oh well, we have a ton of big men. And we got a ton of We got a ton of shooting guards, and point guards. I feel like who's our wing? Bruce Brown and
Nesmith and Nora.
Yeah. So I guess let's just trade him for a draft pick and call it a day. Like maybe we're too deep.
All right. We got guys.
We got dudes.
So
dudes for days. We got a binder full of dudes.
I think to wrap this up, Colson says good riddance.
All right. No. Hey, you know what? I hope that we can't find a trade that works and Buddy just sticks around and we give him some sort of bonus and this team goes to the playoffs and he's so excited that he signs a long-term extension and he's here forever. That's what I meant to say, Joey.
And you want him to sit the bench.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll see how that shakes out. I do love me somebody, but like I said, we kind of got options. So, but I'd like to see him here. All right, the reason we've gathered here today is we're doing a preview of the Western Conference. I like that
that's your new.
I don't know why it keeps coming into my head. So it's not even like I'm going to like a lot of weddings.
No, it's your catchphrase. I like it. I think that should be your new catchphrase.
We're previewing the Western Conference, and we do this every season. Go through each team, and Jason runs the show today, so I'm going to kick back my heels, and we're all going to talk about the teams. Jason, how goes the Western Conference this year?
Well, it goes great. Now I'll launch into an hour-long monologue. No, Joey, don't put your heels up too comfortably because we're going to need you to do some analysis. Yeah. So, like we do every year, we're going to go through the Western Conference. We will give a brief preview of every team, what they did in the offseason, what they're looking forward to doing, and then make our prediction on how many games they're going to win this year. And then we'll also peek into what Vegas thinks, and if we find any sure winners, we will alert you immediately. And so to mix it up, every year I come up with some way to organize things so we're not always going in the same order. We've done, arena names and mascots. And last year we did leading scorers of franchises in franchise history. And this year we're going to do all-time leading rebounders in franchise history. So it'll be a game within a game. You guys can try to guess as we go down the list who the top rebounder for every franchise was. And our first one is the Phoenix Suns. You guys know who who's grabbed the most rebounds in Phoenix Sun history.
So this is not per game. This is their whole career.
Their whole total rebounds. Yeah. As a Sun.
Right. Amari Stoudemire.
Incorrect.
Sean Marion.
Incorrect. Think older. Older.
Olajuwon.
No.
Not wrong.
Barkley was a good guess.
Barkley was decent. Alvin Adams is the leading.
Well, we could have been
That was
here
my
all
next
night.
guess.
Suns. That's right. Yeah.
Started with an A, though.
A hint
This is
for
a
you.
hint.
Yeah,
This is
we're
a
going
hint.
in alphabetical order. So,
I should know.
so now you know.
Okay.
Now you can kind of keep track. All right, Joey. What did tell us about the Phoenix Suns? What are we expecting from them?
So the Phoenix Suns last year finished 45-37, fourth in the West. They had a good season, but lost in the second round to the eventual winner Nuggets after checks calendar. CP3 got hurt in the playoffs, and they crashed out. Last year, Kevin Durant was added. He's still there, so that's good for them. One big change. Monty Williams is out as coach, and your boy Frank Vogel is in. He's going to be running the Suns. On the player side, the big signing or the big pickup was Bradley Beal, so he'll be running with Katie and Devin Booker. I think the concern maybe that their bench is a little bit weak, but they did add Yuta Watanabe and Bol. CP3 is gone. C-Pain's gone. Landry Shamet, Torrey Craig, TJ Warren, Bismack Biyombo, all gone. So, I mean, with those three, Beal, KD, and Devin Booker, you think they would have a pretty good look for the year. I've got them at 52.5 wins for the season.
Oh, and you're Vegas? Because I don't do half wins.
Joey
Vegas.
will represent Vegas in this
Yeah.
exercise. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Harper, what do you think about the Suns this year?
They don't have a point guard. I mean, I guess when you've got that kind of talent, maybe you just don't need a point guard. But it is, one of those positions that teams have sometimes.
Sometimes.
Occasionally.
They've got a ton of firepower. They have no depth. Keep an eye on load management. I'll give them 50, even 50.
All right. I think I was thinking like you. Yeah, they need ball handlers and they need rim protection too. So they're missing two key aspects of how basketball works. I got them at 48. I think it's going to be a tougher Western Conference. So, and I think KD is going to go down for a 3-week injury at some point. So, Colson, what do you think?
I like DeAndre Ayton more than you guys do as their big. I agree they don't have depth. I don't look at Vegas beforehand, and so I'm a little embarrassed that I'm at 52. I don't. Yeah, I'm fine with being under. I agree. There's no ball handler. Booker, I guess, will be the point guard. Cool. Like whatever. They have so much
wins. We all have them winning a lot of games.
That's a lot of games.
Yeah. No, I look. They're going to be good. They have. I mean, Durant is super special.
3
Beal
of the 4
and
best
Booker are
players
as
on
well.
a lot of nights.
Yeah,
For sure.
I'm looking at the salaries here, and this is kind of nuts to me. But Durant's at $47 million, Beal at 46, Booker at 36, DeAndre Ayton at 32, and then the next highest paid player is Eric Gordon at $3.2 million.
There you go. That's how you build a roster in the new NBA. Apparently,
Little top heavy.
Yeah, a little top heavy. It's by a factor of 10.
I like the Eric Gordon pickup. He's going to play real minutes for them.
Yeah. Well, he's going to have to.
Yep.
He might be the only ball handler.
Right. All right, let's move on. Next up, the Portland Trailblazers. What you got for leading rebounder of the Portland Trailblazers?
Oh.
This is gettable. You guys can totally get this.
Is it Sabonis?
No.
Or Venus, not
Venus.
Demas.
Yeah, the guy who played for them, not the guy who didn't play for them. Sorry, I didn't.
It's not Rasheed Wallace because his starts with a W.
Right.
Correct. Yeah.
I was thinking Davis.
I think
No.
mid 2000s to late 2000s.
Yeah, never mind.
Maybe a little bit later, even into the 2010s. This guy was rocking. Later played for the Spurs. All right, you guys are taking too long. LaMarcus Aldridge.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
Hey, LMA.
I was almost there.
Ah, I gotcha. All right, Harper. This is your baby. Tell us about the Portland Trailblazers.
Well, I don't have any idea what's happening out there. Portland's GM is going to be busy probably most of the season fielding calls about Damian Lillard. After sort of unofficially demanding a trade and then trying to force his team into trading him to one particular team in the Miami Heat, all the players and reps around the league got a talking to that you're not supposed to interfere like that. So who knows if Dame will get his wish of being a Miami Heat this year. For now, he is a Blazer. They drafted Scoot Henderson, which is a guy who basically plays the same position as him. It will also join in the starting lineup, likely Jeremy Grant, Yusuf Nurkic, and Shaedon Sharp, maybe Nasir Little. Other guys worth mentioning here, Matisse Thybulle signed a contract with them, and yeah, that's about it. They do have some young talent, and how much those guys grow this year is going to have a big effect on it. My number was shaded by the fact that there's a lot of turmoil there, and I think Dame is gone before the trade deadline. So I have them matching last year's total of 33 wins.
33. Colson. Higher? Lower?
I love Scoot. I love Shaedon Sharp. I love Damian Lillard. This is probably, maybe outside the Grizzlies, the most tumultuous franchise right now. Humans, when things aren't going great, tend to lose. I'm going with 25 wins.
25, yeah. You guys are even more sour than I was. I thought I was sour at 35. Yeah, it's impossible to predict what's going to happen with Dame. And yeah, the only thing they did was they added Thybulle, I guess, and then rookies. So
yeah, and re-signed Jeremy Grant to all of the money.
Right, yeah. Joey, what does Vegas have for?
Vegas has something I don't see very often in the Vegas line. It's N/A. I think the Lillard stuff.
Oh, that's good.
They're just not taking bets on this.
No line. Wow.
So let's put a bunch of money on that.
Go hard on that. Yeah, I think that everything depends on what happens in that trade. So I get it. I did see that the Jazz think that Lillard's coming there, but I don't believe anything. So, but yeah, I think that's the whole that's the crux of the whole thing. So, who knows? And that's where I'm sticking because that's how I feel about this.
Totally. All right, cool. Next up, the Los Angeles Lakers. Guesses as to the leading rebounder in Laker history. Lots of names to choose from here.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Incorrect.
Russell Westbrook.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I was going to go with that too, but that would be an
Westbrook, no.
It's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
It is not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
What?
Huh.
Think Jerry West era. It was a guy that walked away from the team before they won a championship.
Oh, yeah.
Because he said, I'm bringing you guys down. One of the greatest players of all time here.
With a B. Starts with a B.
Oh, it's Bailey?
Exactly. Yeah. Elgin Baylor. Well done.
El-
I thought that's what I was gonna say, but I was like, I thought our last guy was after B. I made that up.
No, we're good.
Okay.
We're bad at the alphabet, but we're good at
Sounds
basketball
like
players.
All right, I'm on the Lakers here. So last year the Lakers struggled a bit until they got Westbrook out of the way, and then Austin Reeves emerged as a star, and these guys made a run deep into the Western Conference Finals before getting knocked out by the champs. They were able to re-sign Reeves on the cheap somehow, or I guess not cheap, but reasonable contract. They also brought in. They made a lot of good moves. So we talked about it last week. Christian Wood is there. Gabe Vincent is there. Also brought in Taurean Prince, Cam Reddish for what it's worth, and Jackson Hayes from New Orleans. They lost some guys. Lost Schroeder most notably, and Troy Brown, who played big minutes for them. So you're looking at a crunch time five, probably of D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, James Vanderbilt, and Anthony Davis, with Hachimura amongst these other additions off the bench. I like all these moves. I hate to say that about the Lakers, but I like all those moves. They're way deeper than they were last year. LeBron's 38 this year, which is not good, but he's positioned to make a good push this year. I like this team. I don't think they'll go crazy in the regular season. So I have them at 47 wins. A slight uptick from last year. Yeah. Joey, where does Vegas have of the Lakers?
Let's see. So Vegas has the Los Angeles Lakers at 47.5 wins.
Oh, wow.
Right there.
And I think with the Lakers, LeBron's teams, they know regular season doesn't count for a ton. So you don't need to win them. Just need to get to the playoffs in a good place. And I think that's what they're going to probably do again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Harper?
Yeah, I agree. I like a lot of these moves, but injuries and load management when you got Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Better depth should yield better results, but I got them at 45.
45, yep. Colson?
Yeah, of course, it's about health, and it's about pacing yourself, but this team's deep. They found themselves in the playoffs. Austin Reeves at the point is going to take a ton of miles off LeBron James in the season. I think this is kind of a fun season for them. I think they're going to hit 49 and not sweat it.
One thing that might come into play here is the new rule about having to play 65 games to be award eligible.
Right.
LeBron likes himself named to all NBA teams, so that might have him out there at least 65 games. And who knows with Anthony Davis? Who knows what motivates him? All right, cool. So we're over and under on that one. So
oh no,
stay away, I think. Next up is the New Orleans Pelicans. Leading rebounder for the New Orleans Pelicans,
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis.
Well done. All right. Colson is going to tell us about Anthony Davis.
Pelicans. Last year, the Pelicans were 42-40. Offensive rating of 21, but sixth in defensive rating. They were 17-12 with Zion in their rotation. I'm bad at math, but I think that puts them at 50 wins if he's healthy all season. Probably more than that. They got to the play-in, but lost to the Thunder. They have a ton of guys. Their probable rotation is C.J. McConnell, Brandon Ingram, Herbert Jones, who I love, Zion Williamson, and Jonas Valanciunas, with Jose Alvarado, Dyson Daniels, Troy Muford III, Larry Nance Jr. They just have a bunch of guys. I really like their guys. I like their squad. But again, without Zion, it doesn't matter. So this entire season is about whether he can be healthy. And I decided I can't really know if he's going to be healthy or not. There's this whole off-season thing with him, on social media, talking in bed with ladies about whether he can stop eating donuts. So I gave them a few more wins, assuming he'll be a little bit more healthy. I gave him 46 wins.
That's a big bump.
It's only 4 wins.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm just assuming he can stay healthy for
play
half the season.
35 games?
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm at.
Harper, what do you think?
That seems like a big if to me. I think you're going to keep eating them donuts. Yeah, I mean, it also came out that he had basically no relationship with his team. That's
true.
Good. I have no reason to think he's going to play any games, but I do think that he'll be around enough to be a distraction. I got him at 40.
Okay, I think I would agree with that. That's fine.
Yeah, I was kind of there with you. I got them at 42. I think they're the same. They're the same as they were last year. So why aren't they going to do the same thing? So
I thought the West was a little bit
I mean, yeah, true. Yeah, that's fair. But I think maybe he'll play 35 games instead of.
Oh, there you go.
It balances out.
Maybe. What's the over/under on that?
Yeah, I know that would be interesting. Joey, what's the number for New Orleans wins?
Yeah, I mean, not too far off. 44.5. So.
No,
sizable for a small market.
You can just ignore me what I'm doing. We can go under with that one.
Colson was very optimistic.
I was. I don't look at the Vegas stats, so I don't know. Just live in my own head.
I like it. This is the time of optimism.
I like all their guys. I just do. I think it's a fun squad.
I do too, but it's tough when you don't know who's going to play from night to night, right? And if and that guy completely changes the way your team plays basketball.
Also, Ingram had a really tough FIBA World Cup. That could have damaged it. I'm going to go down to 44 wins.
Okay.
I've still got time. We haven't changed teams. Does that get us all below?
Yep.
Okay. Because he had a rough FIBA thing, and he could be in a bad head space, and if Zion's not around, he's their best player, I don't know. Let's go to 44.
Okie dokie. All right, next up, the San Antonio Spurs. Leading rebounder for them. This is a gimme.
Tim Duncan.
Gimme. Joey, tell me about the Spurs.
So the Spurs last season, if you remember, finished 22-60, 15th in the West. Big news over the offseason was Greg Popovich extended 5 more years, so it puts him past his 80th birthday. Maybe that has something to do with the fact that they got the number 1 draft pick because of that record and drafted Victor Wembanyama when the Pacers decided not to do that. The only other things that really are going on is they traded for Reggie Bullock, C. Payne, and Seti Osman. So I don't think they're going to be great this year, but we get to see. I mean, really, this is all about Wembanyama and just developing him, keeping him healthy, and learning the NBA game with the sort of expectations around him. So Vegas has got them at 28.5, and pretty low, but looking, the idea would be just to raise that every year until they're back in the dynasty mode.
Yeah. I agree with your analysis. That number seems high from Vegas for me.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think they're going to manage Wemby's load quite a bit, and so I have them actually one less win than last year at 21.
I assumed Vegas would be off the charts because there would be all this money behind Wembanyama. I picked 28, so I'm even below Vegas.
And Harper.
I went stronger. I went 20. Well, I had 30, but I'm gonna lock Joey in there at 29. So,
thank you.
Be the cheerful person that I am. I was just kind of looking at the Orlando Magic what did they win last year? Like 34 or something under Banchero. Sure. I mean,
yeah,
a really good player can make a big difference. I certainly agree that they're going to manage the heck out of him. Still a growing boy after all. But when he's out there, I think he's going to be super effective and hopefully fun to watch.
I hope he's not still growing.
He might be.
I mean,
he's
probably.
like 19. Yeah.
Okie dokie. Next up, Minnesota. Leading rebounder.
Kevin
Colson's
Garnett.
favorite.
Yep, it's got to be Kevin Garnett, yeah.
Gots to be 10,007. Like, so, yeah, these two were fun when you look on the basketball reference page. Like, Tim Duncan is the leading points, rebounds, blocks, steals, assists. Like, and Kevin Garnett, same thing. It was just his name all over the place.
I thought it was, because it was going so early, I knew it wasn't Wally Zerbiak.
Otherwise. Oh, yeah, otherwise. Yeah, you would have totally got it right.
So close.
Yep.
All right. Who's on this? Harper's on this.
I'm on it. The Timberwolves.
Because you lived there, that's why.
We lived there.
That's true.
I won the coin flip this year. Timberwolves managed 42 wins last season before getting bounced in the playoffs by the eventual champion Denver Nuggets. In the first round, their starting five is likely Conley, Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Big Cat, and Rudy Gobert, which they're more or less running back. The roster still doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Off the bench, they did add Shake Milton and re-signed Alexander Walker to go along with Kyle Anderson, who plays really well for them, and Naz Reid off the bench. Tons of good players, but I still question the fit here with Big Cat and Gobert. Probably can really only go as far as Ant-Man can take them, so I do wonder about their consistency over the course of a season. But that said, for their continuity, I've got them ticking up to 45.
Okie dokie. Joey, where does Vegas have them?
So, Minnesota, we got it 44.5. They seem the tracks for me, too. Slightly above average. A couple guys that are, I don't know. This team just hasn't fit super well. I feel like there's a lot of good talent there, but they just have not produced. And I don't think there's like a whole lot of changes to change that up this year.
So I think this team's going to be on an uptick for two reasons. The first is after they traded Russell for Conley, they figured out how to play basketball. They're a much better team. And second, I think Anthony Edwards just figured something out in this FIBA thing. He's like the clear alpha. My concern is Karl Anthony Towns, who feels like the Minnesota's accomplishment of winning 2 games in the first round was more impressive than the Nuggets winning the whole thing. So that's my concern. But I had them on an uptick, and I had 45 as well, Harper, so I'm going to do you the favor of locking you in, and I'll go up to 46.
Boy.
Colson, you love Minnesota.
I actually do. I mean, so, you talked about Anthony Edwards making the jump. He just had a phenomenal FIBA World Cup. He was the alpha for the team. I'm predicting him being a top 10 player in the NBA this coming season. Normally that leads to a 50-win team. I think there is, and we'll talk about this as we continue to talk about these teams. I think there's great parity in the league right now. So, I don't think there's 60-win teams, and so maybe hitting 50 is not going to be a thing, especially if you're a young top 10 player. And I had him at 46, but I'm going to bump it up to 47. Why not? Let's do it.
Goes around, comes around, JT.
Instant karma. Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome.
I worry about health of that team, too, between Conley and Big Cat and whatever Gobert can hit his head on.
Yeah.
Whatever wall angers Jaden McDaniels.
But I love Naz Reid as the backup. Like, look, can we trade Big Cat for a bunch of stuff? Like, this team could be really dangerous. I don't know.
Get him, the buddy healed they need.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Actually, I don't want Big Cat. Never mind.
For Buddy Hield? Ouch.
It would be entertaining.
Well, no, I mean, I'd take him for Buddy Hield, but probably have to involve more in that.
All right. Let's we've been at this for a while. Let's do one more and then we'll take a break and then regroup. So next up is the Memphis Grizzlies. Guesses on their leading rebounder.
Marc Gasol.
Nailed it. Good work.
There we go.
Nice.
Got it in one.
I guess you found that out in your research of the Memphis
No,
Grizzlies, 'cause you're going to
just,
tell us about them.
I just figured out what was after Garnett. So
Okay. Good job. All right. Next week I'm changing the. Never mind. Okay.
So last year the Grizz were 51-31. Offensive rating of 15. Second in defensive rating. They probably because they had Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson Jr. They lost to the Lakers in the first round of the playoffs, 2-4. Ja Morant showed a lot of guns in social media, and he is now serving a 25-game suspension to begin the season.
Define a lot.
Well, multiple times. There was a lot of gun stuff.
It was more than zero.
More than zero gun stuff, yeah, for sure. So they're starting the season. They also went ahead and picked up Marcus Smart, the heart and soul of the Boston Celtics, is now the heart and the soul of the Memphis Grizzlies. Their starting lineup is going to be, looks like Marcus Smart, Desmond Bane, John
Question mark.
Kosher? Conchar? Conchar? Is that a guy? Jaren Jackson Jr., Steven Adams, if he's healthy, we assume he is. He missed most of the last season. Ja eventually comes back, I guess. Luke Kennard is on this team, and so is Xavier Tillman. But, man, there's just so much chaos and so lack of depth. I think I'm being generous and giving them 42 wins.
Wow. Okay. Harper, I'm curious what your thoughts are.
I mean, I was right in there. I'm at 41. They're going to lose a bunch of games, most likely, while Ja's out. But they played great without him last year.
They did.
And,
that is true.
I mean, they got better. Like, Marcus Smart is the better Dylan Brooks. So,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They should be better. If it weren't for that suspension, I'd have them winning 50. So,
Well, and I like the Rose pickup, the sneaky Derrick Rose signing. Like, I think he can give them good minutes.
Zaire Williams, they're pretty high on, I think.
Aldama somehow plays for them. I like their coach. I think their coach is really good. They always succeed even when Morant is out. And so, it'll suck to not have him around for 25 games.
Or not. Who knows?
But he always gets injured for a good, 15 games anyway. So the worry is that he tacks that onto his actual playing time. And then he misses something like 40 games. And then you're in real trouble. But I have them at 48. I mean, they've won upper 40s, low 50s for like 3 straight years. So, Joey, what's Vegas got him at?
Yeah, just under you. It's at 45 and a half. I think the Morant thing is, how long is it going to take him to ramp back up? And
can he not get suspended again?
Right.
I mean, that's the next day. Can he not do this again?
So much free time on his hands.
Yeah, and something about idle hands. I don't remember, but
right.
But I mean, assuming he can stay out of trouble, they got a good team. But
Joe, I mean,
they're not all going to see the floor.
You said that you were kind of close to Jason's prediction. I feel like you're splitting us almost down the middle. Is this a stay away?
It's definitely a stay away.
Yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty around this, so I would stay the heck away.
Or gambling's fun. Just do it.
Gotta ride that wave, man. All right, let's take a break. We're about halfway through, and come back and knock out the rest later.
Great. We'll be back in a few.
Bye.
All right, we are back from the break. Jason, you keeping track of scores on this one, or are we?
I am. Yeah.
No. All right. What do you got?
You guys are on fire. You've hit 5 of the 7 rebounders so far.
Nice.
So I like it. Especially once you picked up on the alphabetical order thing. That really helped your success rate.
We've cracked your code. Actually, can I go ahead and guess that the Clippers are next because it's Blake Griffin?
No. You are incorrect.
Damn it. Sorry, I got all excited. That was my halftime thinking. I was like, oh, I got Clippers up. I'm ready to go.
Nice. All right. Well, kicking off the second half here are the Denver Nuggets.
Oh,
Guess on who the leading rebounder in Denver Nuggets history is.
Going.
NBA history, specifically.
is it Jokic already?
Go.
No, it is not. Good guess, though.
I was going to go Jokic as well.
Is it early?
Yeah, it's old school. This is a name you've heard. You've definitely heard this name. I think he was a coach for a while.
Famous Nugget.
I don't have any other good
No,
hints.
I know this. Dan.
Yep.
Izzle.
Yep. Nailed it. Good work, buddy.
Wow.
Okay, I could see.
I love my
you
80s
digging into the recesses
I
of
love
your
my
brain.
80s basketball.
Yeah.
What is it again? Dan Izzo?
Izzle.
Issel.
Izzle.
Issel.
Like shizzle.
Yeah,
Izzle.
exactly. Pronounced shizzle. Yep.
Okay.
All right, I'm on the Denver Nuggets. All hail our doughy Serbian king. The Denver Nuggets are the world champions. Last year was a masterstroke from career coach Mikey Malone, leading the team to their first championship. They went 53-29 last year in the regular season. We know that they lost a couple key contributors to that championship team. Bruce Brown is now on your Indiana Pacers, and Jeff Green added another team to his list and is playing for the Houston Rockets. They were not super active in the offseason. They brought in Justin Holiday, which is a huge pickup, and then they drafted a few guys, Jalen Pickett, Julian Strother, and Hunter Tyson, all of whom are sort of, veteran collegiate athletes, if you will, right? So they're not, they should be able to contribute this year, to put it shortly. Their starting lineup is the same as their championship. So Murray, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Jokic. Off the bench, they still have a Brown, but it's the German guy, and Holiday will play minutes. They're going to need these rookies to contribute. And last year, Brown was a rookie and he contributed. So, there's precedent for this. And you can imagine that they might be a nice or attractive destination for buyout guys after the trade deadline. Last year they were in full control of things basically all year, and they took the foot off the gas towards the end of the year and ended up with 53 wins. I kind of see something similar this year. They're super good. I got them at 52 wins. I think they're not going to blow away the competition, but they'll win their games. I got them as the best team in my Western Conference. Harper, what do you think?
Yeah, also have them as my best team. Maybe Jamal plays a few more games this year. Only played 65 last year. Maybe he doesn't. Who knows? You're probably right. They probably take their their foot off the gas at the end because I have them out ahead quite a bit. But they could hit 55 if they want to.
Mm-hmm. What's your number?
55.
55. All right, cool. Colson.
They're the champs. I do think losing Brown and Green and stuff like hurts a little bit, but their starting five's intact. I actually have them behind the Suns, but I've got them at 51 wins.
Okay, makes sense. Joey, what does Vegas think of the Nuggets and their title?
Vegas
defense?
thinks pretty highly of them, and they've got them tied with the Suns for first in the West at 52.5 wins.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the West is deeper. I think the whole league is deeper. I really do. I think there's not a lot of bad teams. There's, you look at the Spurs and you go, okay, maybe they're tanking, but they still got Wembanyama. I just think overall the Magic is better. The Pistons are better. I think it's going to be tough to win a ton of games in this league.
Yeah, and all the bottom dwellers are,
Yeah.
Nobody's clearly just bottoming out to
Right.
try to get Wembanyama. So.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Leading rebounder for the Thunder.
It's not Durant, because that's not how alphabets work.
And I messed up the alphabet here. So
So now we can't figure it out.
Yeah.
Or we could just think about who.
I put his name in the other way.
Steven Adams.
So his first name, it's alphabet. His first name is alphabetically here.
Yeah, I would have gone Adams too. What else we got?
Oh well, so does this include
Probably
Seattle?
does include Seattle.
Yep. Think Seattle. Think 80s basketball, Colson.
Sean Kemp?
Nope. Good guess though.
Who is the big man?
Think goofy
Nate
white
McMillan.
guy.
Goofy white guy.
He may have also played for the Bucks briefly. Starts with a J.
First name or last
First
name?
name. First name starts with a J.
Jack Sikma.
Nailed it. Good job.
Ooh.
You know that guy, Joey? You love.
I know his
Love you
name.
some Jack Sigma.
He was in with the NBA Jam. I think it was Kemp and Jack Sigma. I'm pretty sure.
And they lost a lot of games, didn't they?
That they did.
Rebounding is not what NBA Jam is about.
Rebounding fundamentals. All right, Harper, tell us about the Thunder.
Well, exciting times in OKC. After a lot of years of not winning, it's time for OKC to start winning some basketball games. And SGA had his coming out party last season during the play-in tournament, solidifying his role as a superstar in the league. They will welcome back Chet Holmgren, who missed his rookie campaign, in which OKC notched 40 victories. Starting five likely going to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, one of the Jalen Williamses, Lou Dort, and Chet Holmgren. Bench players going to be the other Jalen Williams, Ousmane Deng, and they traded with, I think, Dallas for Cason Wallace. The draft. Oladipo is on this team, but currently listed as injured following his off-season leg surgeries. I think it's 3rd in 4 years or something. But all that said, there's going to be real expectations for this team this year, but they have got a heck of a lot of talent on this team. Probably need to trade some of it away because they're going to run out of minutes. As it sits, I got them ticking up to 45.
I was thinking the same way as you. I had them at 43. I also like they either traded or signed for this guy Vasily
Micic.
who is a rookie, but he's an older rookie, and he was the EuroLeague MVP last year. So, there seems to be lately a good precedent for these EuroLeague guys coming in and being effective. So he's a good backup point guard for Giddey there. Yeah, so I got him at 43. Colson, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm all in on SGA. I got him at 46.
Okay. I like it.
Locking me.
Joey, what does Vegas think?
Yeah, you guys are right around me. So I'm 44.5. So
Okay.
I think we're all over it. Just, 44, is that right?
I had 43.
43.
And he's wrong.
And
Okay.
I'm apparently wrong.
So I guess if Colson says it, then it's consensus over.
Yep.
No, that's not how it works.
All right, next up, the Los Angeles Clippers.
Boo.
And it's not Blake Griffin, huh?
It's not Blake
You
Griffin.
big jerk.
Nope.
And now the math is the alphabet is screwed up. So
No, it's the same.
It's somewhere
No,
between
that's the
I
same.
and Z.
okay, perfect.
Somewhere between I and
It's between
300,000.
J.
It's Elton Brand.
Yeah.
Ooh. My favorite Clipper. We tried to trade for him in the mid '90s. Loy Vaught.
Well, Lloyd Vaught.
That's a
Good
deep
guess.
cut. Yeah.
Oh, I love that kid. But I assume that's too late. I got nothing then if it's not Griffin or Vaught.
Relatively modern. This guy's still playing in the league.
What?
Played some minutes, I think, in the finals, actually.
But DeAndre Jordan
Yeah, there you go. DeAndre Jordan.
doesn't seem right.
Oh my god, I totally forgot he played for the Clippers and he played there for like 6 years or something.
He grabbed almost 8,000 rebounds
God.
in his time as a
Lord.
Clipper. Yeah.
Machine.
Ugh. Should have been Blake Griffin.
Indeed. All right, Colson, tell us about the Clippers.
So last year they were 44-38. They're just mediocre as hell. They're offensively 16th, defensively 18th. They lost in the first round to the Suns, 1-4. They're just middle of the road. They're super deep with like rotation NBA players. Their two stars, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, don't play a lot of games. They made a late season trade for Russell Westbrook, who actually gave them a lot of juice playing off the bench. And I think that might help them this upcoming season. I have a regular at the bar who is convinced that the new NBA rules about resting will force Paul George and Kawhi Leonard to play more, even though I'm convinced they're actually just injured a lot as well. Their probable rotation is Terrence Mann, PG, Kawhi Leonard, Batum, who I think I thought he was out of the league 3 years ago, but apparently he's still starting, and Zubats, Westbrook leading the bench crew with Norman Powell, Marcus Morris, and a Plumlee. They're deep. And Robert Covington is on this team. Bones Highland plays on this team. Mm-hmm. They've got a lot of bodies.
Beer, coffee, got bodies.
They got bodies. I'm guessing they're going to win more games than I want them to because I just like to root against Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
And nobody ever wins two.
I'm going to go with 47, but they might be a problem in the playoffs for some teams and maybe go further than I want them to. I'm just mad about the whole thing. So, going 47.
Joey, what's Vegas got these guys at? I'm very curious.
So Vegas has got the Clippers at 46.5.
Oh.
I went over? Nah.
So
I'm changing. I'm going 46. We're going to change this before it gets too deep. I'm going 46.
Colson, your regulars think that all this stuff is just rest, like that they're
Yeah, well, I think Kawhi Leonard definitely is rest, but I think Paul George can only play 50 games a season. I think that's legitimate. He played 56 games last year and was really good when he did. But yeah, Kawhi plays whatever he wants. So I think they think that because they said they'll be on national TV games and at least one of them has to play. And I'm like, I think they kind of one of them all played all season last year. Whatever. Anyway, I'm going under. Screw these guys. 46.
Yeah, I went way under that. I don't. I have a note in here to copy paste my analysis from last year, but I forgot to do that. So, but whatever I said last year,
we'll go back and listen to the tape.
They have pro guys. It's all the things you said. They feel like a 500 team to me. I don't know. I think I'm at 41.
Yeah, I was also at 41. Who's the doctor who decides if they're healthy or not? Because I'm pretty sure Kawhi and Paul George have enough money to find a doctor who can say that their foot hurts.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the side topic about these discussions about the resting. It's like, yeah. I mean,
how do you enforce it? We'll see.
We'll exactly. See. How do you?
We will see. We will see. I do say I look, if Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are healthy and
if they're both healthy, they could win 60, but they ain't gonna.
Screw these guys. I'm out.
Yeah, I'll go up.
And I'm still the highest.
40. I'll give him 42, I guess.
You're 42. Okay.
And if Bender hadn't been hurt his whole career, what would have happened?
Yeah.
We would have had a championship.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'd have banners.
Yeah. Didn't Kawhi Leonard he load managed in the playoffs? Didn't he do that?
Yeah, he's big on that.
Fuck that guy. All right.
And he still gets hurt.
he gets hurt while he's load managed. All right, next up, Sacramento Kings. This is a very difficult one. I had not heard of this player.
Not Chris Webber, huh?
Not Webber.
And not what was the big yeah, thank you, D-Bot. Yeah,
not D-Bots, no. Dude named Sam Lacey.
Sam Lacey.
We could have been here all night. Never heard of the guy.
Yeah. That's quite all right. I am on the Kings. Oh yeah, I'm on the Kings. The Kings last year broke their playoff drought and played magical offensive basketball all season long. They were first in offensive rating, and they, acknowledged that the defensive end of the floor was there. They ended up, they went 48-34, but lost in the first round of the playoffs to the Warriors, basically because they couldn't play any defense. They returned mainly intact, and I think they're going to need to rely on Mike Brown's purported defensive prowess to buy in and improve on that end. So this year their goal has got to be to win a playoff series, and I think they'll get a lot of buy-in from the guys to actually play some defense. Starting lineup, they didn't really make any moves. They got Chris Duarte and some rookies.
8-track.
Rashawn Holmes is now in Dallas. Starting lineup: De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray, and Domas. Davion Mitchell, Malik Monk, and Trey Lyles off the bench. They're gonna score, and Duarte. Yeah, sure, of course. They'll score. They'll win a lot of games. I got them at a slight downtick just because I think the rest of the West is better. So 46, I got them at. But a solid playoff team. Harper, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd slide down to all that stuff. I had them at 47.
Okay. Did you? Were you looking at my notes?
You can't. You're not supposed to hold them up to the camera like that.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
You guys are killing me. I had them at 47. I like them. And I think Mike Brown helps them.
He didn't help him last year.
No, I think he needed time to convince him. He needed an offseason to convince him.
Okay.
You needed Chris Duarte to come in there and really solidify the messaging.
That's right.
You don't call me track for nothing, like a broken record.
One of the nation's elders to come in.
Yeah, exactly. You did that veteran voice.
Well, hell, I mean, I don't know if I want to go all the way down to 45, but I don't think they can repeat 48, so I'm gonna go to 45.
Oh, wow! All right.
Oh, no.
Yeah, do 48. You love
48. I love them. Let's go 48. They just repeat last year. No, there's no way that's happening. We're going 45.
Boy,
45.
I'm getting whiplash here.
45.
Jason just rooting to lock me
smoking.
Yeah, 45.
Joey, what does Vegas have?
44.5.
Oh, we're still all
Pound
over.
the over.
Census over.
Pound the over.
Wow.
I talked myself into 45. Let's pound the over.
Yeah, I like that. I think that
Vegas saw Duarte, and they're out on him. But we know better.
We do know better.
All right, next up, you guys, this is an easy one. Utah Jazz.
Carl
Malone.
Nailed it. A mailman. Joey, can you repeat to us what we told you that the Jazz did in the offseason in the pregame? And tell the audience now.
Oh, yeah. It's like, yeah, so the Jazz are mine, and I was like, telling the guys, I said, hey, I was really struggling to find the moves that they made. It's because it didn't really do anything. The Jazz last season, 37-45, they were 12th in the West. Lauri Markkanen got the most improved and was fantastic. He's back. Yeah, basically the only things that happened of note are John Collins came in from Atlanta. They drafted Taylor Hendricks, and they also did sign Romeo Langford, who went to IU for a year, Indiana
Watch out.
native. So he was a Celtics lottery pick a couple years ago. And also, I found out in my research that they're the only team in the NBA that's never at any point lost 60 games in a season.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. So they've also not had a number 1 draft pick, so it might be related. This season, the Utah Jazz are looking at, through Vegas's eyes, 35.5 wins. Because, yeah, they didn't change much. And
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that John Collins is a player. He's an NBA player.
Sure.
He's very good at times. Although he was, I think he was a negative when he played for the Hawks. He was like a negative plus minus or something like that. Or his team's net rating was negative.
So weird.
And I don't think the addition of him makes any sense from a geometry standpoint for the Jazz. I think this move makes them worse. I don't understand. So I have him at 34, which is a down tick from last year's. Colson, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I've got him on a slight downtick. They caught a bunch of teams by surprise early in the season. I also know that they kind of tanked down the season as well for draft picks, so maybe those things balance out. But I think the entire NBA is deeper, and they're competent. They got competent basketball players, but I'm giving them 32 wins.
32. Wow.
I mean,
Harper.
I would agree with you on the John Collins geometry thing, except that they just don't have any bigs. I mean, even after drafting Taylor Hendricks, they got, Walter Kessler and Kelly Olynyk at the center spot? Like, they just need bodies up there. They're going to play weird lineups. They're going to be developing youth. I like Bryce Sensabaugh.
But, isn't Markkanen a 4? Don't Markkanen and Collins play the same position?
Maybe.
I don't understand.
I feel like you'd rather have Markkanen at 3. I feel like you just don't want him taking any punishment if he's going to be your best player, right?
Yeah.
But, they're still starting Jordan Clarkson. There's problems with this team.
Can he defend wings? Yeah.
Can he defend power forwards?
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
And Jordan Clarkson is your, savvy veteran. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they're also starting Walker Kessler according to the depth chart, so go figure. But whatever. Colin Sexton, Lauri Markkanen, John Collins, potentially those guys can light it up. But all that being said, I think they're going to have trouble getting back to where they were. I do have them on a slide up. Well, I got them back where they were. I got them at 37.
37. Okay.
They're just flat.
Cool.
Apparently, I lost faith in the Utah Jazz.
How dare you? All right. Next up, the Dallas Mavericks. Leading rebounder. This guy, again, was,
Nowitzki?
had every category. Yeah.
Oh, Yeah, Dirk Nowitzki.
No,
Dirk.
sure.
All right, Harper. Tell us about the shit show that is the Mavericks.
Oh, Dallas. So last season ended on a high note as the Mavericks and Jason Kidd embarrassed themselves, with Kidd admitting to tanking in a press conference, which cost his team like $750,000 in order to protect a draft pick, which they did, although they ended up trading away for Derek Lively. That left them with their highest offseason priority of re-signing Kyrie Irving, because what else do you do? They did manage to achieve that for $120 million over 3 years. They'll be trotting out Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, Tim Hardaway Jr., Grant Williams, and Dwight Powell or Maxi Kleber. Bench guys, Seth Curry and Josh Green, along with Markieff Morris, and Derek Lively will probably see some minutes off the bench as well. Health is going to be an issue because this is another very top-heavy team in terms of talent. But probably more important is what excuse Kyrie Irving is going to come up with to not play basketball this year and how long that lasts. Mm-hmm. But I do have them improving over last year's win total, which was just 38. I've got them upticking to 45. I think they play.
Okay. What is your odds on bet for his excuse to not play this year? I'm going alien abduction. I'm saying
I like that. I like that.
Claims he got abducted by aliens.
He's gonna have to go be ordained or maybe get a degree of some kind.
Okay, sure.
School, education related.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
I'm thinking some sort of lawsuit around Flat Earth.
Okay.
He's going to sue the lizard people.
NASA.
It's going to go to the Supreme Court. That's all.
Kyrie Irving v. lizard people.
And I'm on some vague, non-provable social justice issues.
Okay.
I love it. That's actually probably the right answer.
I mean, that's the Vegas has that as the odds-on favorite.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
That's the inside track.
Yeah.
You do represent Vegas for us, Joey. So nice work.
Yeah. Yes.
I didn't know what to do with this team. I have them at 40. That's obviously way lower than they could win if everybody played, but I don't know. So 40.
It's cool.
Colson, what do you think?
Yeah, Harper, I agree with you that this team could easily win 45 games. It could win 50. I mean, Luka Doncic is transcendent. He's one of the best players in the NBA. But man, the Kyrie thing, and there's not a lot of depth here.
They didn't even play that well when they played together.
Oh no, they played horribly when they played together.
Yeah.
They can score a lot of points, but they basically give the team other points when they play together. And like they're laughably bad at defense on the floor together. I think they can outscore teams half the time. I'm giving them 42 wins.
Joey?
Yeah, I'm near there, 44 and a half. I mean, yeah, they got these big name guys who are gonna win some games for you, but it is to be seen that the top heavy team, that the top heavy part can produce together.
They don't have no big guys. They have zero big guys.
Maxi Kleber's a player.
Okay.
He's not great, but he's
Powell does all right.
No, I like Powell. I'm just saying they just don't have a lot of size, and they're going to depend a lot on a rookie, is what I'm thinking. I don't know.
I mean,
And then you throw
and a couple
Grant Williams into the
first
mix.
ballot Hall of
Oh, I
Famers.
love the Grant Williams pick.
Yeah.
I think he's great. I mean, I think when I'm looking back on this, I gave them 4 more wins because of him. Like, I think he's going to be perfect fit as their 4. He's going to be able to roam and play defense and stuff. Like, I think they're getting better. But, and I think they're a play-in team.
I think they're screwed in the long term, but I think they'll rack up some wins.
Sure.
So you split us, Harper, by going high.
Turns out.
All right.
That one feels
Just
like
to
a stay away.
Make sure we know it's
That's
a stay away.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Stay away.
All right, next up, we got 2 left. Let's power through. Houston Rockets.
Hakeem the
next.
Dream.
That's got to be
Nailed
JC has got that one.
Yep. Colson's on that one.
Well, I'm the Rockets because they're my favorite team, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So what do we got? 50 wins?
Okay. They got a new coach. Ima Udoku, who had some, whatever his name was. He had some trouble with the Boston Celtics, but he's back, baby. He's back. Last year, this team was 22-60, very bad. Offensively, they were 27th in the NBA. Defensively, they were 29th. They had a ton of young talent they've been drafting for a while, and they all just ran around with like chickens with their heads cuts off. Like they just had no plan. And Ime is going to come in and give them some direction. They also spent a ton of money, as we talked about on the last week's episode of Where That Player At, on veterans. They brought in Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks, Jeff Green, and Aaron Holiday to fill in with their young players. And I think this works. I think leadership matters. I think, you've got stuff from the top down, and these kids will have some direction. Looks like our rotation's going to be Van Vliet with Jeff Green at the 2, Dylan Brooks at the 3, Jabari Smith, their number one draft, or they're not number one, but their first round draft pick last year. And then, do I say this right? Sengun? Is that their? Shingun. Thank you.
And I believe it's Jalen Green.
It's the other one of the other greens.
Instead of, yeah.
One of the greens.
Jay Green.
Yeah. You're right. Jeff Green's coming off the bench. Jalen Green's. I wrote them backwards. Yeah, Jalen Green as they're starting to, and then everybody's excited about this Sanguine. Shanguin. Alprin Penguin is his name. People are excited about him. He's a really solid big man. They've got Kevin Porter Jr. that I think might be into some trouble on the internet. Their rookie Amin Thompson and Cam Whitmore. Jeff Green, like I tried to plug him into the starting lineup. He's coming off the bench. And Tara Eason, who I like quite a bit. They've got a lot of depth, and it's a good mixture of young players and veterans. This is my biggest uptick of the offseason. I've got them at 35 wins. I really like what they've done this offseason.
All right, that was way more reasonable than I was expecting.
Mm-hmm. 13 wins is a lot of freaking wins in the NBA to go from one season to the next.
Sure, yeah, but the way you were talking,
I'm really excited
I was
for
hoping
them.
for something starting with a 4. I was getting excited.
They've got direction, and I'm excited for them.
I got them on a big uptick too. I got them winning 10 more games than last year, 32, which is, I think, a respectable. They will play much more organized offense, but they will still suck at defense. So they're going to lose a lot of games. Harper, what do you think?
I was also at 32. I will take 33, I guess.
After my big speech.
Yeah, you really rallied him.
That's right.
Joey, what do you think?
Let's see here. I got him at 31.5, and that's what I was just looking up.
Pound the over.
Pound the over.
Well, Kevin Porter Jr. I don't know. He might be in trouble.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I noticed that briefly, but I don't really know what he did, but it sounds bad.
His girlfriend's vertebrae got fractured.
That's not great. Yeah, that's not good.
And when I say got, I don't know. There's
very passive construction.
Well,
allegedly,
there's some alleged things. So
we have 300,000 listeners. We could be sued. Be careful.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, sure. Kevin Porter's camp is all up on our podcast.
Yeah.
They're going to grab any straws they can.
But
all right.
No,
cool.
but remember
Houston
they brought in Aaron Holiday. He can be their backup point guard, and also Amin Thompson. They don't need Kevin Porter Jr.
Well, they also don't need
throw that guy to the wolves.
Van Vliet healthy, which I feel like he's going to miss a bunch of games, but they actually do have some real depth at that point guard position that I think is usable for.
Yeah, we're good.
Or I would have taken the under on that, I guess, but can't do it.
It's a lock. It's a lock.
Lock it. All right. Last team, the Golden State Warriors. Anybody know the leading rebound getter for the Golden State Warriors?
Wilt Chamberlain.
No. We're towards the end of the alphabet here.
Oh, jeez.
Wally Zerbiak.
Not
okay.
quite. He's third all time for the Warriors. No,
Okay.
I'm just kidding. This guy you've definitely heard of. He's old school. Very old school. Probably like Rick Barry era.
Oh,
Warriors.
jeez. So we're talking about 70s?
Yeah.
And it starts with a low number.
Starts with
A low alphabet number.
What?
No. I don't know what that means.
It's below.
Starts with a T. His last name starts with a T.
Okay, that's what I was
Oh,
going for.
God. I hope you don't have any of your teachers listening.
Alphabet number.
It's like
Somebody
some
Thompson.
kind of cryptology or something.
Yeah. No, not a Thompson.
Not a Thompson?
Nope, sorry.
Not
Tompkins.
Tristan?
Nope.
Tom.
First name,
Terry
Nate.
Taylor.
Oh, Nate Thurman.
There you go. Good
Nice. All right. We did that. We know rebounders.
job. I only gave you half of the name. Okay. I'm on the Warriors here. Okay. Okay. Last year was kind of a down year for the Warriors, but that's okay. They're coming off a title, and Draymond Green punched Jordan Poole in the face to start the season. So, all things considered, I thought they did pretty well. They ended up winning 44 games and lost in the second round of the playoffs. Here's a statistic for you. Among lineups with at least 100 minutes played, the one with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kevin Looney ranked first with a net rating of plus 21.9. Of course, that lineup didn't see a ton of minutes because Wiggins missed a bunch of the season. And yeah. So there you have it. In the offseason, the big move for the Warriors is they shipped Poole out to protect his face from Draymond Green's fist. And were part of a deal that brought back Chris Paul. So, projected crunch time 5. I don't know what they're going to start with, but you would have Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green on the floor. Key guys off the bench would be Looney, Gary Payton II, Kuminga, and Moses Moody. The Paul thing is kind of a big shakeup at some level, but if any team can handle it, I think from an ego standpoint, these guys can. And I think it will be good for him. He can play low minutes all year and then be fresh for crunch time in the playoffs, which is where he shines. I mean, really. So,
Sure.
I think they'll have injuries throughout the season. They know that they don't need home court advantage all the way through to be competitive for a title. And I think that still remains the goal for them. So I have them at 45 wins for the regular season. Joey, where does Vegas have them?
Vegas likes them a little bit better. 48.5. I guess this is probably flavored with, their multiple titles that they've won. They've entered the dynasty era, and they still got, some of those dudes hanging around. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So 48.5. I think that they got a good chunk of talent on that team still, and we've seen Steph and Klay and to a lesser extent Draymond do things that were enjoyable to watch.
Indeed. Harper, what do you
I
think?
think this team has got some sneaky depth, doesn't it? Corey Joseph and Kuminga, and they just drafted Podziemski, so I assume they like him. Dario Saric. I mean, gosh, I like their depth chart better than I have in a lot of years, but
Sure.
I suspect with the age of all those guys and the injury histories, there will be some games missed. I put him in at 46, so +2 over last year.
That's good. Colson?
Yeah, no, I think it's about the health of these players. I mean, Chris Paul could be injured all season, it wouldn't matter. But you know, I mean, I think Clay and Steph, Draymond have to stay healthy. No, I think this is going to work great. I think Steve Kerr's a good coach, and this team knows what it's doing, and I don't think anything can really mess up the chemistry outside of face punching. I'm going to go with 48 wins.
Which is always a risk.
That's right.
With this team.
So we're all under on that, but
we are all under.
We are.
Yeah, interesting.
All right, those are the 15 teams in the Western Conference. To recap briefly, if you were to average what Harper, Colson, and I guessed for win totals, the order in the Western Conference would be Denver Nuggets at the top, followed by the Suns and the Lakers, and then the Warriors, the T-Wolves, and the Kings, and that would be the 6th spot, so that would be your guaranteed playoffs. And then the Thunder, the Grizzlies, the Clippers, and the Mavs would be in the play-in.
Well, we hate the Clippers.
And then rounding out the bottom would be the Pellies, the Jazz, the Rockets, the Blazers, and the Spurs. There you have it.
That feels fair.
Harper, were you keeping track of consensus overs and unders, or by any chance?
Yep, just double checking here. Consensus overs on Sacramento and Houston, and unders on the Warriors, Clippers, Pels. I put the Blazers in at 37.5 because that was what I found for them preseason, but
Okay.
if that were the case, we would be a consensus under on that as well. Sure. And Phoenix's 52.5 seemed a little rich for us as well.
Wow, that's a fair amount.
That is. I might stay away from Phoenix, but the rest of them, I'm
I would stay
putting all
away
my money on.
from the Warriors too.
Oh.
I could see them getting super hot.
Yeah.
Well, and the Blazers, since there's no number on.
Obviously. Yeah.
They'll probably get more than 0.
But that's like 5-6 teams you can go to Vegas with.
Yeah. All right, Joey, I'll turn the reins back over to you until next week when we talk about the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. We'll do the same ordeal on the Eastern Conference, and now that we know how the game is played here, I want all you guys off Basketball Reference for a week. All right.
Okay.
No looking at rebounds, or just like block the rebounds section, and no playing NBA Jam for a week.
Don't check your Google phones.
None of those things. So, but yeah, so we'll be back. We got a couple other shows to get ready for the season, but we are moving right along. And until then, you can hit us up on social media. We are on Twitter at Undebeatables. We're on Facebook.com/TheUndebeatables. Our website is TheUndebeatables.com. There's also a contact form there. You can use that to send us a message. And my favorite one, email. Shout out at TheUndebeatables.com. Send us something questions, comments, anything in between. And at the website /store, you got your swags.
For the architect, Donnie Walsh, and our once and always Hall of Fame coach, Bobby Seclener. Turn out the lights, the party's over.
What was that with the hands? Were you like being a naked mole rat? Like, what was that?
I was trying to send my voice to the microphone.
I see. That makes...
Because you guys can't see the mics right next to the camera. It probably looked a little weird.
Gotcha.
It's funneling my voice to the sound grabber.
I saw you giving the old naked mole rat.
It did sound pretty good. So, totally worth it.